All right. Anyway, man, big ups to y'all. Appreciate y'all for being in the live, man. Y'all do me a service as we get going and hit that like button and the share button, man. We're going to get into some of this stuff today. I'm going to try not to hold you too long today, but after the Saints Monday after they get their first win, it was a great article right here. This is two articles right here. John Sigler wrote from the Saints Wire, which was pretty good, about the Saints. 5 consecutive takeaways from versus the Giants were the most since the Dome Patrol days. Did y'all guys know that? I knew it was a lot. I knew it was a record. I heard it was a record, and I was like, wow, that is big. Anytime the Saints, the current Saints, could link back to the most iconic defense, the best defense in NFL history in some form or fashion, that is a huge win. That is great power and just greatness, tapping into greatness right there when you can develop 5 turnovers in a game. Now, we should have blew this team out, but it's okay. The defense did its thing. They was a little stank and rusty early on, but they switched in. They kicked in with the adjustments. They shut the Giants off. Couldn't score. They took the ball away, forced them to fumble. One of them, they just gave the ball up, scared him with the ball, scared it out of his damn hands. So, I mean, it just fell right for the Saints. Really good. And they were there and they just didn't give up defensively. And like I said, there's a few things to talk about on the opposite side that Coach Moore would ultimately, after the win, will then fixate in, like he today talked about things that they need to clean up going into the next matchup against the Patriots, who turned around and beat the Buffalo Bills. Did y'all know that? The Patriots turned around. They actually beat the Buffalo Bills. I had that as a loss for them. But just like they say in the NFL, man, it's the NFL is any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. I was not expecting that to happen. I wasn't expecting the Patriots, but they beat them by a field goal, 23-20. But they were competitive. They were very competitive in that game, man. They were very competitive in that game. So that was actually pretty good for them. And now, that they beat the Bills and they come into it with some confidence for the Saints. So this should be an interesting game. I kind of thought, I was like, man, this is going to be interesting for Sunday, man. But we'll have more of that as time moves. But anyway, man, let's jump right into this article right here. Shout out to John Sigler, the Saints Wire. Great article right here. That's not impressive. He says that's impressive. The Saints defense took the ball away from the Giants on offense 5 consecutive possessions. That is phenomenal. And fam, that is incredibly difficult to do. The Saints did it, but this is the thing, that how often you see a team take the ball away 5 straight times. We watched something that was really awesome when we seen the Saints just competitively, consistently, every drive after drive, just take the ball away from these folks. That was phenomenal, man. I don't know if you'll ever see that again soon. That's very rare. But 5 consecutive takeaways, man. That happened since 2016, right? And of course, the crazy part is the Saints beat the Giants. And if you go back to the last time the Saints won a game that counted, it was against the Giants last year. That's what I call full coverage, baby. That's full coverage. All right. Anyway, Saints themselves, you have to go back a little further than you think. The last time they managed this feat, 5 straight takeaways, was a year away from being born. Old school Saints family members remember the Dome Patrol defense well, and this is the kind of performance they almost made routine. The all-star unit, led by Pro Football Hall of Famer Ricky Jackson and Sam Mills, and their Pro Bowl teammates Pat Swilling and Vaughn Johnson, managed to do twice. The first time was the 13-6 slobber knocker game between the Saints and the Eagles, in which the Eagles were intercepted 5 times, fumbling 6 times, one recovered by Ricky Jackson, and they took 6 sacks. It was far from a clean game, with 2 interceptions and 2 sacks of their own. Offense did a better job of capitalizing on the turnovers the second time, beating the Phoenix Cardinals 27-3. They had 5 interceptions that game too, along with 2 fumbles, recovering both of them and 2 sacks. Crazy work right here. What about this time? The Saints powered their way to victory with 2 interceptions by Kool-Aid McKinstry, plus 3 fumbles recovered by Jonas Sanker, Jordan Howden, and Cam Jordan, with Brian Bresee and Demario Davis punching 2 of them out. We know they weren't going to have the kind of production every week. It's still worth celebrating, and it's something they can build off. Nobody can live up to that all-time great standard that the Dome Patrol set for themselves, but there's nothing wrong with chasing it. Sometimes you just might meet it. Yeah, this was awesome, man, to watch what we've seen with the 5 consecutive takeaways, and made this, and maybe this will be a jump off point for the Saints defense to be able to then turn and kind of say, hey, man, we playing with this energy. We're in the dome. We got to win. And it's something about those wins. Wins are magical, man. You tried, you were at the cusp on a couple of these games. You kept shooting yourself in the foot, and the Saints they didn't make it out barely. They actually took possession of the game and literally half the game just dominated the Giants. It should have been a complete blowout in terms of them at least converting a few more of those turnovers into touchdowns. Had we done that, it'd have been something else, even more momentum rolling into the next matchup. But it was phenomenal, man. And credit to Coach Staley for doing it. He made the adjustments, because my goodness, they didn't look like much or nothing early on. The guys were just marching the ball down the field. He had 1 or 2 completions. It was just pitch and catch, and then they turned it on. So hopefully that was a sea change moment in the defense, and maybe we could kind of take this positive energy here and turn it into something going in the rest of the season, right?